I don't know anything about this person. I know that there's like a game, I think. We'll watch their video, but they made an apology. They're 35 years old. They made a video game called Yandere Simulator. I think I've seen this. I think this was really popular. Is it like a dating simulator or something? Or like a school? What is this thing? It's like a murder simulator. Oh, that actually looks kind of cool. Okay, so you play as this girl and I guess you're like in school and you try to secretly kill people. That's what I'm assuming. I don't fully know, but apparently this person got into some hot water. I guess this is him. He's a human. He kind of looks like Shia LaBeouf in this picture. Maybe. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. Sorry, Shia. Wow, he has 2,700,000 whatever the fuck subs. His channel has almost 500 million views. Plus, he made a very successful game and probably made a shitload of money off that. His most popular video, 24 million views. Let's see what his videos were before this, like, shit happened. This is his biggest video. Let's see what it's like. Oh, okay. Why does this have 24 million views? This shit sucks. Addressing the allegations. Let's watch it. His like ratio is not that bad. I mean, for a horrible thing to be accused of, I would assume. 22,000 likes and 25,000 dislikes. That's not the worst ratio, honestly.
Hello, I'm Yandere, the developer of Yandere Simulator. Last year, an extremely serious allegation was made about me that I would like to address. The accusation is that I attempted to groom an underage fan of my game. I will take accountability and admit that I did discuss inappropriate topics with a fan. However, the accusation that I deliberately attempted to groom this fan is
giving
false.
scripted? Oh, yeah.
In this video, I would like to apologize for what I feel I should apologize for. But I would also like to give you the full story so that you know what is true and what isn't true. Let's start at the beginning.
Okay.
Last year, a fan of my game contacted me and wanted to chat. Usually, when a fan tries to talk with me, I just tell them that I'm too busy. But this person seemed really nice and friendly and funny, so I decided, you know what, sure, let's talk. She let me know right off the bat that she was 16.
I like hearing everything.
I didn't see any problem with
it.
it.
You know?
When I was 16, I had online friends that were in their 20s and 30s, so it just didn't feel weird to me. In the beginning, our conversations were normal, but
that's not his voice. No, I think it is.
She had a kind of adult sense of humor, and every now and then she would bring up a topic or ask a question that wasn't really appropriate. When this would happen, I wasn't entirely comfortable with it, but I rationalized to myself that it was no big deal.
ChatGPT kind of shit, yeah.
Eventually, I must have said something that sounded like a red flag to her, because at some point, she started to record our conversations just in case I turned out to be some kind of predator. She showed our
Bro, the way he said predator, he's like, predator, like, what?
Conversations to a YouTuber, and the YouTuber decided, yep, this guy seems like a groomer. We need to expose him. From what I've been hearing, it kind of sounds like the YouTuber...
is this just how he talks? I'm sure everyone feels this way. Like, what the fuck?
Started coaching the girl on how to manipulate me into saying things that would make me look bad, which wasn't what the girl wanted.
Dude, how is... I don't know how old this person... I think they were 16. He was... How old was he? He said she was 16. How old was he, though, during that time? He said last year this started coming out. So he was probably, like... Right now it says he's, like, 35. So he was probably, like, 33 or 34 when this happened. Either way, he was in his 30s.
But you don't have to just take my word for it. The girl has written a statement about the entire situation, giving her side of the story. I've put a link to it in the description below. I won't tell you what to think about it. You're welcome to read it for yourself and draw your own conclusions. So, with the YouTuber apparently
how this guy's been making videos for fucking 10 years. Why does he not know how to do a jump cut correctly? What the fuck is this dead air?
The girl on how to steer our conversations in an inappropriate direction, our discussions got pretty...
He could definitely not mean to be a predator, and it's messed up if he was set up, but this is literally what all of the people that accused him of doing terrible things say. I mean, yeah, maybe like some people don't realize what they're doing in the moment or whatever, I guess, but like still it's like I think when he says the I was set up thing, though, it's like, how are you set up? I don't know. I don't really believe in the oh, you're set up thing, because like you have to be still doing it, you know? There's no way, you know? Doesn't he say that she told him his age or her age like instantly? You should be aware.
Weird. I wasn't comfortable with it and I tried to express that, but like an idiot, I just went along with it anyway. Because I had gotten into the habit of being really candid around this girl and just casually responding to whatever she said, it was very easy for her to get recordings of me answering questions I shouldn't have answered and discussing topics I should not have discussed. And the YouTuber then used those recordings to make a 40-minute long video accusing me of being a groomer. Out of respect for all of the people in the world
He's
who have
definitely
actually
reading
been
the
groomed,
script.
we should use the word grooming correctly. Grooming is when an adult tries to establish a relationship with a child with the intention of exploiting or abusing the child. That doesn't describe what I did. I didn't develop a friendship with the girl for that reason. That wasn't my intention.
But
It
it sounds like he eventually got to a place where they were discussing like sexual things. When he's 30 and she's 16, maybe he wasn't aware of what he was doing, but it comes across that way. You know what I mean? I think that's like a fair thing to say. You know, maybe you weren't aware, but like that doesn't take away from the reality of it.
attempt to establish a romantic or sexual
He
relationship.
asked her for nudes. Oh, we're not at that part yet. Yeah, I mean, obviously there it's clear as day, but I feel like a lot of these like people, it seems like they're like not aware of they're like, oh, I was just having a conversation, and it's like, yeah, but why did it get to that place? And it's just, I don't know.
Relationship with the girl. But after having my behavior explained to me as commonly associated with romance, I can understand how it was interpreted that way. I feel like it's worth mentioning that a lot of the remarks I made only sound bad when they're out of context. For example, there was one time when the girl jokingly said, "You should make an OnlyFans." And I said, "No, that's dumb. No one would ever want to see that." And she said something like, "Come on, it's so easy to make money on OnlyFans." And when I heard that, I thought, whoa, that's a little concerning. Don't tell me that social media is brainwashing this generation to think that they should just go directly into porn the second they turn 18 because it's the best way to get rich
He's a good guy, guys. He's a good guy.
quick. That's a little concerning. I wanted to know if she was joking or if she was being serious. So I asked her, "Are you planning to start an OnlyFans?" And of course, the YouTuber used the recording of me saying, "Are you planning to start an OnlyFans?" to frame me.
Dude, why like it's such a weird thing to have a conversation like that though. Like, come on.
As someone who initiates horrifically inappropriate discussions with children, which is just completely dishonest.
I mean, that is inappropriate.
There's a part of me that wants to go point by point
Especially
down the
as a
list
stranger,
of every
dude.
single
Like,
questionable or suspicious thing I said and provide context for absolutely everything, but that's not really the main issue here. For one thing, a lot of the stuff I said is just weird no matter what the context is. I'll just admit it.
That's
More
fair.
importantly,
I mean, you know.
I never should have let conversations like that happen in the first place.
True.
A normal, mentally healthy adult would have just blocked the girl immediately
Or just
after
not
the very
replied.
first time she said something inappropriate.
Yeah.
But I didn't.
True.
And having to face that fact was a wake-up call that made me realize I had deteriorated mentally. So, after this whole controversy happened, I decided to take some time to just reflect and try to figure out how I had turned into the type of person who would let something like this happen. After talking it over with a lot of different people, I think I've developed an understanding of exactly how things got to this point, and I think I have the vocabulary to explain it now, too.
Holy smokes, bro.
Over the past 10 years, I
Talk like a
neglected
bot.
absolutely every aspect of my well-being in favor of working on my video game project. I almost never left my house for any reason. I had no
Guys, come on. He was working on a video game. I mean, like the thing I liked about what he was saying before this is that he was just like, I shouldn't have done it. That was stupid. Because it was just very like point blank. And it's like, yeah, that's true. But like then he's like, okay, well, this is why I did it. It's because I was not taking care of myself. It's like, okay, buddy.
social life whatsoever, and I had no one that I could call a true friend. A lot of people warned me that they could see my mental health deteriorating and that I was exhibiting a lot of self-destructive behavior, and I just ignored all of them.
I'm not a groomer. I'm just
I
a
was
loser.
lonely and depressed and miserable and getting worse every year and doing nothing to make any of it better and ignoring all of the warning signs that were being given to me. When you neglect your psychological
You
and
talk during, guys, I don't talk during movies. I talk during a video that I'm reacting to for content, because otherwise it's just me ripping content. Of course I'm gonna fucking talk during this. Come on. A movie? No. The fuck?
social needs that badly for that long, you eventually become so desperate for social interaction and positive affirmation that you become willing to have inappropriate interactions you shouldn't be having, as long as it's fulfilling the social needs that have gone completely unmet for years. Acknowledging all of this was step one. Step two was determining what I would have to change about my life in order to repair the damage that I had done to my psyche over the past 10 years.
Okay. I actually don't care about that he felt like he was not taking care of himself. I just don't really care.
Images are fake Discord screenshots depicting interactions between me and children that have
Happy 12th birthday. Thank you. That's a big age for a young woman. Has your periods. Oh, he's saying this is fake though.
never actually happened. These images were either created in Photoshop or made by an impersonator using my username and avatar. This isn't the way that people speak to other people. This is the way that you write dialogue when you're trying to make a comical image for the internet to laugh at. These are not real. Another piece of information I would like to address would be the claim that I was grooming this girl ever since she was 9 years old. That's not true. Apparently, she sent me an email 7 years ago.
I mean, to be fair, there are like fake messages can exist. I'm just saying they can't exist. I had somebody in my Discord make a fake account of me and like say some bullshit as well. Like they can't exist. It's like, I'm not saying I don't know this guy. I don't know exactly, you know, I can't speak for anyone else, but that does exist. Let's not act like that's not possible. That is possible. Assuming
it was just typical fan mail. I always respond to every fan who contacts me. So I must have replied and said something like, "Hey, thanks for your kind words. Glad you like the game." But just the fact that she had contacted me when she was 9, and then later she contacted me again last year, somehow magically transformed into a narrative that I had been grooming her for 7 years straight. No, that's not what happened. That's just something that people made up. But even though I didn't harm...
It is, but he shouldn't get involved. I mean, I'm not trying to defend this guy because I don't, you know, but like, I don't know how he's, I mean, if those messages are fake, like he's saying they are, then how would he not get involved? They're about him and whoever the other people are. I don't know how he would not be involved in that situation when that's literally him in the topic.
Harm a child. Even though I didn't traumatize or victimize anyone, I do feel that I've made mistakes that I need to apologize for. I allowed myself to deteriorate into a person who is making horrible decisions on a regular basis that not only...
Wouldn't he report them if they were fake? Do you guys use the internet? Dude, you could report anything on any social media. It doesn't mean it's going to go down. And then people could still like make other accounts or things. Like it's not going to stop. Like the internet is a thing where people just can do whatever. Reporting doesn't do anything. Like maybe one post gets removed. People can still make more. Like, come on.
It only harmed me, but also the people around me. By making some incredibly stupid and careless remarks during conversations I should not have been having, I created a huge, completely unnecessary scandal and made myself into a figure who is so controversial.
He's reading a script, you can tell. Yeah, I can tell that he is reading a script. And like, this is like, I know I was defending the fake post thing a little bit, like if that is true, just in the sense that fake posts do happen, but does he have to prove it's false? I don't know how you can really prove things are not real when they're not real though. On social media, it's pretty difficult to do that. Like you wouldn't have any evidence of it existing if it's not real. But I don't think having a script for this stuff is always the like worst thing. I think people think of it like, oh, you have a script, you're being disingenuous, but that's not completely. I mean, obviously this guy just seems like he's hard to give a chance, and that's fine. You know, people can feel how they want to feel. I don't know him, but with a script, like I don't think it's bad to think about what you're gonna respond to a situation that's negative about you. You know, like to think it through. I don't think that's a bad thing because like, what, you want him to just sit here and just be like, all right, on the spot, I have to like answer these things instead of, you know. I also don't blame people if they just go head first with these things and respond instantly or live or whatever. You know, there's no real answer on how to respond to a situation like this.
That people are afraid to be associated with me or have any kind of connection to my game. As a result, people who enjoyed contributing to the project had to quit. YouTubers who enjoyed playing the game had to stop. Companies had to sever all ties with me. And a lot of fans were deeply hurt and upset. I'm sorry for having stupid, inappropriate conversations I never should have had. I'm sorry for neglecting myself until I created problems for everyone around me.
I don't like that part. The him saying sorry for what, you know, he did. Good. Him being like throwing his problems in there. It doesn't need to be, that could be its own thing if you want to talk about your problems and your struggles. It shouldn't be this video. That's just my perspective.
I'm sorry to all of the people who I ignored when they warned me countless times that my behavior was becoming more and more self-destructive. And I'm also sorry for one other thing. After this whole controversy started, people started targeting anyone associated with me or my project for harassment. People even targeted the girl that I spoke to, spreading misinformation about her and spamming her with horrible images.
Yikes.
It's one thing to screw up your own life, but it's another thing entirely to screw up so badly that you bring hate and abuse and harassment into the lives of others just for being associated with you. I am deeply sorry for that. I just hope you can find it in your heart to forgive me. Well, now that I've owned up to what I did wrong and established that I'm not a groomer, where do we...
Dude, this guy is like probably the most difficult person for anyone to actually have sympathy or believe, though, because maybe there's a possibility that everything he's saying is completely true. Maybe it's genuine as well, but the way he delivers things and everything just feels so hard to believe. And I know, like, you can't always say like, oh well, this guy sounds like they're lying, or this person sounds like they're like not being honest. It's like, because what is necessarily, but like, I guess just on a human level, it just doesn't feel human, so therefore it's just difficult. His body language, yeah, and like the cuts and everything, obviously, like I said, the scripted stuff, it kind of makes sense, but there's just like, I don't know, I don't think he knows how to talk. And yeah, it could just be how he talks, though. Maybe this is just how he is, you know.
We go from here. Well, I don't think that 3 months of self-care are enough to magically fix every flaw I've ever had. I'm sure I still have plenty of room for self-improvement, but I'm doing a lot better mentally now than I was before, and I think I'm ready to get back to work. I'm going to continue releasing updates for the game, and I'm going to continue releasing videos on my secondary channel. I understand that there's probably going to be less people contributing to the game, less people playing the game, and less people supporting the game, but...
Oh, those numbers are going down for sure. Those numbers are going down. 100%.
I just have to live with that. No matter what kind of numbers I have.
Why is he talking about content? Apparently this information came out last year or so, I guess. And I guess this is him addressing that, and then just now he's saying, okay, I want to live my life. No way he's adding promotion. I mean, I guess you could take it that way. I mean, he's also, I think more so what he's trying to say is that this is his life, is doing this game and shit. So he's saying that he's going to continue to live his life. I just don't feel that in this video, if you're addressing such a serious thing, it should even be mentioned. I just don't think it needs to be. I don't think the sympathy part of your own needs to be, added.
Whether it's views or downloads or income or anything else, I'm still going to keep working on the game. It's too important to me for me to ever give up on it. There's a lot I would like to say about the current state of Yandere Simulator and the future of the project, but that's not what you clicked this video for.
No shit, why are you even mentioning it?
I'm just going to write all of that in a blog post and link to it in the
Dude, okay. You should have did it, like, come on.
Description down below.
Insane.
Just in case it wasn't already clear, I just want to firmly state that I don't blame the girl for anything that happened, and I don't want anyone to harass her or make fun of her in the comments section or anything stupid like that. So if that's what you were planning on doing, don't. Over the years, there have been a lot of other controversies as well. Some of them I never addressed at all, and others I attempted to address, but I just mishandled it and botched it and made things even worse. So eventually, I'd like to make a video, kind of like this one, where I actually address those past controversies properly. I can't guarantee when it will happen, but it is something that I do want to do in the future. With that said, there is one false accusation that I think is relevant enough to address now rather than later. I don't want this to turn into a long, rambling video.
You're adding more. Just fucking quick. You gotta say it.
There are a lot of people who are under the impression that I advocate for abolishing the age of consent and replacing it with a sex license.
I don't even know what that means.
No, that is not true. 10 years ago, in 2014, I had a debate with someone about whether or not age should be the sole determining factor in deciding whether or not to judge someone as an adult. I argued that just because someone has blown out an arbitrary number of candles on their birthday cake, that doesn't necessarily guarantee that they are competent enough to make certain life-changing decisions. If you want to drive a car, you have to pass a driving exam and earn a driver's license. So I thought, what if it worked the same way with becoming an adult?
What does that even matter?
What if there was some sort of exam or test that you had to pass in order to be recognized as an adult and authorized to make certain purchases and decisions?
What?
Well, if you think about it for like 2 seconds, you can immediately identify like a million problems with that concept.
Yeah.
And that's because it's not an idea that I put any thought into. It's not some deeply held personal belief that I will die defending. It was just a random hypothetical thought experiment I came up with 10 years ago while I was being contrarian towards someone in an argument.
Okay.
But sadly, that's just one of dozens of random offhand remarks I've made over the years that have been screenshotted and
oh my god, he's hard to listen to. Yeah, so he's weird.
Used to paint a completely inaccurate picture of who I am and what beliefs I hold. For now though, I've said everything that I wanted to say. Thank you for your time, and thank you for being willing to hear me out.
Yeah, no, I mean it sounds like a red flag. We can't have anything nice. I don't really trust this dude, but definitely a very odd man.
Your lipstick is colored, don't bother, angel. I know exactly what goes on.